So I promised a video on the motor swap I was doing on the Heisler here. So this is a standard Bachmann On30 Heisler. So what happened was I had the original CAN motor that was in there. It's like this guy. Okay, and it just seized. I've read reports on the internet of people saying, "Oh, it just seizes over time. It seizes because it sits." Um, I don't know if any of that's really true or not. But anyways, mine ceased. It wouldn't work. I was having to take the locomotive apart. I was working on it, trying to get it to go the way I wanted it to go, and just eventually died. So I said, okay, fine. Well, we'll swap it. So I went online and I found the NWSL 1627S-9. It's a 1.5 by 9 mil single shaft. I've used it before. Ironically, I used it on a brand new River Rossi Heisler, the brand new, like the new runs, where the motor went bad. I had good success with it there, so I thought, well, let's try it here. I bought two, so there's one installed in there, and then I have the other one here. So just for you can see the size comparison. So you can see that it is bigger. It does fit in the stock spot. You can see that it sticks up a little bit there. Um, I am not concerned about that. Some of you might be. So if that bothers you, great. I feel like once the roof of my locomotive is on, the cab roof is on, you don't really see it, and I'm okay with that. With that being like that, I am gonna maybe run a piece of styrene across here just to kind of keep everything uh, in place. I may not though because there's not going to be any really dust collection. Like you can see once I put the cab roof on, there's not going to be like anywhere for dust to intrude. There's not going to be anything that's going to fall in there because it's at the top of the locomotive. It's pretty well protected. But a couple of pitfalls that I suffered while I was doing this. So um, number one, because it is longer, you do have to get there was a bushing on the front of the motor here on the old motor. You have to get that off and you have to get that on to the new motor so that it sits. There's a little depression in the very bottom of the tube here, for lack of a better word, and it has to sit in that depression for the worm gear to be held correctly. The worm gear came off easy enough. That wasn't a really hard process. You just have to make sure that you get that, and then you have to fit it to the new motor. You do have to drill it out a couple of sizes, very, very slowly, very painstakingly. I was nervous the whole time because that's not, right now a replacement is like $300 on, or well, I guess $200 on the Bachmann part store. Not something I'm really looking forward to. It does come with the whole frame if you order the replacement. You can't just order the motor. The NWSL I think was $24.99. What's it say? $24.95. So I'd rather try for $24.95 than 200 for the time being. So, anyways, let's fire her up. There we go. Okay. Um, I do have, and you can probably see it here. I do have a little piece of styrene tubing in the front right there. You can just see the top of it. And the reason that I put that there is just to kind of keep everything from bouncing around in there. Um, it does slow the locomotive down. So here's speed step one. It slows it way down, um, which I had um, I had known was going to happen. It did it to the River Rossi, and I was willing to take that. It's going to slow your Heisler down, but Heislers aren't fast, so you know you're just kind of making it a little more realistic. Um, I may mute her right now while I'm talking. Um, but you can see that it works, it functions. I can drop it up on the layout up top. It runs just fine. Um, but so that is the motor that I used. Again, that's the 1627-9. It's $24.95 from NWSL. I think I paid like $5 or $6 shipping. It was here a couple days. I've got it all swapped out, and it's ready to go. Again, the only thing you're losing here is you're losing the cover and the cover screw, and I'll just you know put some tape on that and throw it in the box, and then just put my new or put my cab roof back on and let it run. But anyways, that's how I did it. It is not glued, fastened, anything like that into the tube. At this point, the only thing that I'm going to do to fasten it in again is I will probably come in here and I will probably just put some CA on the side of that piece of styrene tubing that I put in there. It's not going anywhere. I've run the locomotive at speed step 25 and not had any problems at all. But I wanted to do an update because I know I had guys that were asking, and I know that this is not something that has an answer for a lot of people. I've seen, like, when I searched this to figure out what motor to order, um, there were a bunch of questions asked in forums, but there was no answer provided. So this is my answer to it. Is it the perfect answer for you? That's up to you. But I wanted to be true to my word, and I wanted to make sure that I followed up with everybody um, and kind of say this is what I did. And you can love it, you can hate it, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do with it. But maybe somewhere somebody has a Heisler that's sitting on a shelf that they got, and it's just sitting there, and maybe that'll get this one person's Heisler running. And to me, that's worth it in the end. Okay, so that's it for right now.